Yeah,
So, I
that's
mean, you
good.
have a healing podcast. We haven't really talked about your podcast. Tell me about that. Tell me why healing myself. I think the best healers are always still healing.
Hmm.
Where does that podcast mindset come from, and what happened in your life to kind of put you on the mission of the podcast?
That was actually an idea my husband had. So he's a licensed clinical social worker, has been for over 20 years. And we early on in our relationship were always talking about the things that we were learning in therapy and things that we wanted to unlearn from our childhood and generational cycles we wanted to break. And pandemic happened and it was like you have nothing to do, and we're like, oh, why don't we just have these conversations and share them, keep having the conversations, because it was not only that we were having them with ourselves. It's like when we had friends over, we just always ended up talking about some version of that in some way, and people seemed to respond well to them. So we just started recording them. And it actually started out as the Love Haze podcast, like a play on our last name. Like, how is life and love and relationships? How are they hazing you? And how do you sort of learn to navigate that? And it shifted because we sort of realized that our relationship with ourselves impacts the relationship with everything, with your work, with your family, with your friends. And so that is the relationship that requires the most work and attention, because once that one is good, the others will be good as well. And so yeah, we just would start having conversations and keep having them, and then have other folks on and talk about things. So it's really just about, like, what how can we sort of normalize therapy and healing and growth, especially for the Black community where there's so much stigma around that. And how can we sort of just live out loud the things that we're learning in real time, kind of. Yeah.
I mean, I think therapy used to be kind of taboo back in the day.